everyone, this is your girl SolieSims and we're doing another tutorial video. This time I'm doing it in collaboration with McCrafty 1976, as she's known on the gallery, and she's also known as McCrafty on Tumblr, as she's a CC creator as well. And we're doing a clutter video today. As anyone who has been following me would know, I am not very big on clutter. I always tend to do like a basic home and have my Sims do whatever it is they want to do in terms of collection of stuff to add to the house. I never actually go in and do full clutter. I'm lousy at it. And McCrafty, I was speaking to her about it, and she was kind enough for her to offer to do the cluttering for me, and I appreciate that so much. She, as far as I'm concerned, is a clutter goddess as well as a kitchen queen, because she always does these most amazing kitchens, as well as just cluttering up just perfectly. So when she offered to do this, I totally hopped on board. I did create the room, but that's the extent of what it is that I did. The room I did initially, as you saw at the beginning of the video, it was very bare bones, and she just took it and worked with it and upgraded it into something that can be used in a fancy parlor, kind of, you know. It looks like a fancy sitting room basically. So what we're going to do in this video today, all we're going to do rather, is just a discussion basically of how you can take an existing space with existing furniture and work it around to make it a more inviting space, as well as how you can use accent colors to help join all the spaces to make it a little bit more easy on the eyes and cohesive in flow, as well as a little bit of cluttering. Now, like I said, I cannot speak to her thought processes while she was doing this, because she recorded and I just doing the voiceover, and I'm doing the editing of the video, but that is the extent of it. But as you can see, I decided to use as a base brown walls, beige walls and brown floors with the bits of the brown trim on the top, and I used blue as an accent color. And a lot of people may be saying blue and brown, but I mean, guys, come on, you can see that it suits the space and it looks really good. And what she's done is that she has just rearranged the settings on the whole. She's changed the fireplace from where it was, and she's changed the styles of how the plants were. She's duplicated another plant. She's introduced storage space in the way of a bookshelf, and private little sitting areas in the event that you want to sit and read with in a nice little cozy sun-filled space, you know, so you can bring in some of the warmth of that in your little area. She's also changed the color of the sofa. I'm not sure if I mentioned that before. I felt like I did, but maybe I didn't. I can't remember. And she's also changed the little side chairs as well. Now, the tones that she used, the colors that she used, it's not as bright as the blues for the curtains, etc., and that is perfect because it picks up off of the rug itself while tying in with the colors in the curtains. And she left the vases for the huge planters, the huge vases. I said vases and I'm saying planters again anyway. As blue, which is absolutely perfect. Something else that she introduced that I'm really happy that she did, because I tend to not do it much in my builds, is the different types of lighting that she used. She used a hanging chandelier, and I'm always lost as to what I should do for the wall sconces, and I'm glad that she used some simple smaller sconces just to put up on the sides, just to tie in with the space and just brighten up the room without over making it, you know, too big and obvious, like something that I would have probably done. Now, the good thing about this fireplace is that it has a built-in shelf, and you can of course put whatever it is that you want. So she went with a picture frame as well as a flower vase with is it a double or a single rose? I can't see very clearly. Maybe it is the mirror in the background doubling it. And then there's always those pesky little spaces in the back, in the corners, sorry, and you always never know what to put there. Well, I always never know what to do with the corners, honestly. And I'm glad that she used the this decorative side table. I actually have one of those in my house right now. And it's from so long ago, but it suits and it works and it fills in the space just perfectly. Also, the divider, that is again something that I never use and I would have never thought to use in a living room type space. So it hides off a corner, and I mean, if you had like more expensive stuff, or maybe something that you didn't want prying eyes to see, even if they're coming in, this is your main living area and you have guests coming over, you can use the divider to hide something off in the corner. And because it is beautifully ornate, it also kind of gives something pretty to look at. And maybe you might get a few questions about it, because like I said, it's not something that you normally get in the living room, but it just suits the space perfectly. As always, we use move objects on whilst we're trying to furnish, simply because I think it just makes making tighter spaces just look better in terms of being able to clutter them up, because it's not every single time that you'll be able to just place it. It just looks weird to me. I don't know, I just like using move objects on myself personally. Yeah, so we're moving towards the back of the room now. As you can see, and I mentioned earlier, I just love those windows being framed by the curtains, and I didn't mention that earlier. I was mentioning that the chairs that was put in the back, it was a good spot for you to be able to come in and do some reading during the day, especially because because of the light coming in, but then because of course she puts in the lamps next to it, and that's something else that I do not use to introduce lighting into a room. I hardly ever use lamps in the living space, standing or desk. I hardly ever use it, honestly. And of course, you can never go wrong with plants. When in doubt, always add a plant or 2 or 3 or 4. This is what I do as well. I just love incorporating plants. In real life, plants wouldn't survive very much inside of my house because let's just say I'm a plant killer, but I prefer succulents for myself personally. What she did there was introducing different types of plants, and apart from the very big ones that we have here, she also put in a singular vase, again pulling from the blues for the accent pieces, the accent color around the room. And then she brought in a pop of color which goes well with what it is that we already have, and just adds a little bit of ornateness to it in regards to the blue stuck against the white of the vase. Now right now she was searching for a different type of plant that you can use to put in there, and all you have to do, again, it is with move objects on, is just, that's when you franken mesh two different objects to make it into a new object. And I do that a lot too, but I'm glad to see that she's showing you guys how there are different ways that you can do it with the different plants, just to make it look fuller and just to make it look like it's a whole different type of plant. So basically she took a vase which was found in the structures part of it, and she incorporated it with 2 different plants to make it into a plant. In her, she did a little bit of a house tour, well, a room tour rather, just so you can have an idea of what everything looks like put together. And I really like it. And I want to give her a big thank you for doing this for me. And of course you will see her style of video again, because we will be doing more clutter videos, because I think that is something that would be good to be introduced. So I'll see you guys again in my next video. Goodbye.